We are now on axles. We've got both the front and rear axles to do here, and you're going to need these two bags. So we're going to do the standard plastic axles. I'm just going to show you how these go together first, and of course later on I've got a update for this one, so an upgrade. So they're the two bags. So we need to get the bags open and get the components open, but effectively we're doing this step here. Okay, right, let's get the components out. So busy step here. Let's see if we can get this into some order. So I think these are the number 3 screws that the drawing refers to. Okay, they're the ones that we're 10 of. Okay, so I've put this in order where you've got the front axles with a differential gearing system in the middle, prop shafts and stuff that are all put together, and then you've got the main sort of cover, bridge cover and output shafts, and again I've put this for the fronts and the rears. Then you've got the axle stub connectors, these are the ones going to be for the front, and then the trusses, and then the steering linkages. And for the back, kind of very similar again. You've got your main back axle, the main shafts. You've got the cover that goes on the back. You've got the output shaft from the differential case, truss, and a packet of grease. So we kind of got to put these together. These are the plastic ones, like I say. I've got a future upgrade where I'm going metal axles, of course. And yeah, let's see if we can put this little step together. Okay, so let's attempt to put let's do the front one, shall we, first of all. So we've got our axle shaft assembly. This is the main assemblies. These two, they will go on top of each other, and then we've got our pre-assembled shaft. This is the front one. So got to put this inside here. Probably put a little bit of grease on these. You can see they're plastic bearings. This is a metal gear, and these are already assembled on for you. So just going to put a little bit of grease on here just so it's greased up. So just put a bit of grease on there, look. Okay, so now we've got to get these so that the bearings are in the right place. So these little ones, we need to have one at the end, and we need to match up the ones on the inner side more nearer to where the actual gear is. So I believe it'll go something along the lines of, just need to move that one into place, and that one down there. So now we've got that in place, we can pop the top section on. So our top section, again, making sure the flat is this side, sits like that, and it clips into place. There we go. So now we've got that in place. So you've got this assembly. We need to pop the outside, the output shaft. So this will only go in one way, because as you can see, this gear is off center, and this will go and collect, no doubt, along this side like this. So you're lining up the holes, and then it'll clip into place. So what I'm going to do is, again, just put a little bit of grease on here, just so there's a bit of grease. Right, let's pop that on. Oh, it'll only go on one way, and you can see there's like little rotating tangs. That pushes home, and you should be able to turn, and it turns. Okay, there we are. Right, then we need to pop the corresponding other cover, lining up the holes again. There we go, like that. So the holes line through all the way through, because we're going to use some screws. Then we got these cups that go on the outside, so let's pop those in as well. There we are. And then one of these, which is like the hub carriers, goes as well. So you've got to line that up, and then we've got to hook them. So you might just have to open that up a little bit like that, just enough so that it goes in. There we are. So you're making sure that this is at the front, okay, because this is going to go to the back. All right, same again on the other side. Let's pop that in. Our hub carrier as well. Just give that a little bit of a lift up as we locate those in to where we need them, like so. Oh, let's come off. Should have screwed those in, but that's okay, no problem. There you are. So it looks something like that. So I believe it says here we got to use the number 3 screws because they're going to go through and bite. So you see this here. So these ones are 14 millimeters long. So they're the 2 mil ones, but 14 mil long. And then we tighten 4 of those, so it tightens up. Okay, there we are. I'll screw these together and show you what it's like at the end. So screwing this last one through, just again, finger tight, nip, little turn, little nip, little turn, little nip, little turn, little nip, little turn. It should move. Yeah, it does. There you go. No problem at all. So that's that bit there. And we now need to add the trusses on top and the steering linkages to the front. So let's do that bit next. So now we've got our axle, we need to put our plastic truss on top. So I believe that these are the number 5 screws that it's referring to, because the length needs to go through here and through and collect all the way through the other side of the axle. So let's do that. I'll do one and then I'll do the other 3 and come back to you. So there we go. There we are. Give it a little bit of pressure. Yeah. And the idea is, I think we need to bite all the way through, and we need to bite through to the bottom part of the axle case to bring the axle case all together so it's as sealed as much as possible. Okay, so I'll go and do that on the other 3 now. So these ones, I believe these are the 2.3 by 10 millimeter long. Okay, so just coming back to that, you can see now I've put those in. So that's the top truss now, and just again, just gently turn those in. Don't go too mad. It needs to be attached. Okay, so now you can see now we've got the truss over the top, and that's screwed all the way through, and that comes all the way through to both halves of these of here. Okay, so that's now done. Of course, we're going to upgrade these later to metal ones. Okay, and the last section is to pop the bar across. I'm just going to remove this flashing actually. If you just bear with me a second. There we go, that's removed some of that. And this is the steering link. So the steering link goes on with a couple of number 1 screws. I believe that goes actually from underneath like that. So we go underneath. Actually, is it like that, or is it like that? I think it looks a bit better like that, doesn't it? Yeah, and then we're going to pop some number 1 screws in to hold that. Okay, and then on top we got this one. This one goes up to our servo, so that goes on top like that, and a number 1 screw in the top as well. So it gives you that. So I'll just screw these 2 together. Might be a second. So let's take some of those number 1 screws and let's do the steering bar across the bottom. So I'm going to turn it upside down, pop it in there. This side, tighten this one up, and then what we also got to do next is on the top side of that. So now that's in, we need to take our bar that goes up to our servo, and the same again. So that's actually, believe it or not, done. There we are. So we can now turn our attention to building the rear axle. Okay, lovely.